Okay, it is 7:30, so I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Batavia City Council for Monday, November 7th, 2022. And before we do anything further, I'd like to ask you all to rise for a brief invocation to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, as we stand on the threshold of entering the holiday seasons, we are ever mindful and thankful for the many nice gifts that Batavia has received over the years, and all the great people that have moved into our community, and for all the progress that has been made in the last few years to make this a more friendly and nicer and grander place for people to proudly call their home. We are most thankful for this, and we just ask that a special blessing be showered upon our community as we go through the holiday season, knowing that many people are going to take very kind actions and do activities that are going to, again, show the world what a nice place Batavia, Illinois is. Tonight, as always, at the City Council, we want to ask for vision and understanding and deliverance on the part of the City Council as they act on the various items of business before us, knowing that in the hearts and minds of each of them, they're here to do what will be the very best job for the community of Batavia. Also tonight, we want to ask for a special blessing on all those from our community who are serving on foreign soil in defense of the liberties of the United States of America. And we just ask that a special blessing be showered upon them and all the other men and women from our country who are serving with them in the vital missions that they are undertaking. And finally, we just ask for a blessing upon our community, that those who are sick return to good health, and that in the coming winter weather, we will deal with it in a strong and forceful manner and continue to make Batavia a very easy place for people to live and get around in. We ask for all these blessings. Amen.
Amen.
Alderman Conley, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
As for the city clerk to please call the roll.
Miller. Aye. Rosado. Beck.
Here.
Connolly.
Here.
Janzit.
Here.
Wolf.
Here.
Solfa.
Here.
Barron.
Here.
Lehman.
Here.
Ayazi.
Here.
Malay.
Here.
Ewert. Cerrone.
Here.
Vogelsinger.
Here.
We have
12 present.
12 present, 2 absent. Very good. We have the quorum to conduct business. All right, moving then to item number 4, which is a reminder, if you're going to speak to us tonight, we ask that you please come forward and use the podium and use the, most importantly, use the microphone, because this meeting is being filmed by BATV for rebroadcast, and we want to make sure that everybody that's watching can be able to hear it. We have a lot of senior citizens that watch this meeting, and without that microphone, they're kind of lost, so we ask that you do that. Okay, moving to item number 5, items to be removed, added, or changed in tonight's agenda. Do we have anything? I'm not aware of anything. All right, we'll move to item number 6 then, which is presentation of tonight's consent agenda. Alderman Chanzit, would you present this, please?
Indeed. And actually, before I begin, a very quick shout out to the world-class healthcare that we have at our doorsteps at Delmar. I had laparoscopic gallbladder surgery this morning, and thank you to the wonderful care at that facility. I'm able to attend tonight's meeting. The consent agenda reads as follows. To accept and place on file building reports for September 2022, September 2022 monthly financial report, Committee of the Whole minutes for September 13th, 2022, Historic Preservation Commission minutes for September 26th, 2022. Approvals, the October 28th, 2022 payroll in the amount of $922,730.90. The accounts payable check register in the amount of $5,487,883.44. City Council minutes for October 17th, 2022. approval, the 2023 meeting calendar, the COW executive session minutes for September 27th, 2022, Resolution 22-106-R, structured wiring services, Resolution 22-107-R, conference room AV services, Resolution 22-47, amending the zoning code for the city of Batavia, Title 10, related to sign regulations, Ordinance 22-54, annexing and zoning part of NICOR right-of-way between Fabian Parkway and Barker Drive. Your Honor, I would move that we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman Wolf for the approval of the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Lehman.
Aye.
Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller. Aye. Beck.
Aye.
Donnelly.
Aye.
12 yes, no, 2 absent.
Motion for the consent agenda is approved. Moving to item number 7 is matters from the public for items that are not on our agenda. Do we have anybody in the audience tonight that wants to address the city council? I don't see anybody. Do we have anybody online? We do not. Okay. All right. I'm very pleased to introduce item number 8, which is a proclamation for Bryce Worley Day. And Bryce is in the audience, and he's a very special young man in the community and has done a number of very interesting things. And it's been suggested to us, and I think Alderman Lehman, you get the credit for bringing this forward, that he was somebody very special. So we prepared a proclamation honoring Bryce, and at the end of it, we're going to proclaim November 7th as Bryce Worley Day, and the city council is going to vote on this. And then we're going to give him a framed copy of this. But I'd like to ask Alderman Lehman if she would read the proclamation.
A proclamation. Whereas Bryce Worley, son, grandson, big brother, and friend to many, is courageously battling an inoperable brain tumor and cancer. And whereas Bryce is the son of Tammy and George Wilson and Nicholas, and brother to Hayden, Leyland, Lindsay, Corey, and Maisie. And whereas a student at Batavia High School, Bryce has continually beat the odds ever since his 2019 diagnosis. He was 13 and just finished closing a Batavia youth baseball game when he developed a headache. He suffered what was thought to be a stroke. And whereas Bryce made a recovery from the initial event, relearning how to walk and talk, weeks later, a tumor deep in his thalamus was discovered. And whereas he underwent 30 radiation treatments and attended physical therapy for hours daily while he and his family lived in the Ronald McDonald House. And whereas given less than 3 years to live, continued chemotherapy and radiation shrunk the tumor. And even after the inoperable tumor became a cancer diagnosis, Bryce continues to fight, undergoing palliative care treatments that allow him to continue living his life. And whereas Bryce continues to live his best life, enjoying classic rock music, watching the sunset from the shores of the Fox River in Batavia, and hanging out with his friends. And whereas Bryce is an accomplished metal detector, having combed his parents' yard, Batavia's parks, and the banks of the Fox River, searching for coins, precious metals, and other treasures, he has shared his metal detecting hobby with several friends who can often be seen around Batavia pursuing their hobby. And whereas, despite the hardships Bryce has faced, he has maintained an infectious positivity and fearless faith. And whereas Bryce's extraordinary strength and courage has inspired all those around him, green ribbons, Bryce's favorite color, line downtown Batavia, representing the support Bryce has from his community. And whereas the Batavia community has provided meal trains, raised money through GoFundMe to help Bryce's family make modifications to their home, donated church camp experiences, and a Make-A-Wish trip to Naples, Florida, so Bryce could metal detect on the beach. And whereas, with enormous heart and soul, Bryce continues to be a source of inspiration and a beacon of hope, proclaiming to his family he is not afraid to die. and be it resolved that we, the mayor and members of the Batavia City Council, gathered here the 7th day of November 2022, do hereby extend our sincerest well wishes to Bryce Worley and declare that November 7th be Bryce Worley Day in the city of Batavia. Your Honor, I make a motion to approve the proclamation as presented.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Lehman, second by Alderman Wolf. I think it's probably seconded by everybody on the city council, if truth be known.
Share it.
So I'd ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Lehman.
Aye.
Hayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Sarone.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa.
Aye.
Aaron.
Aye.
12 yes, 2 no, 2 absent.
Motion's approved. Bryce, I'd like to ask you if you would join me up here at the podium along with Alderman Lehman, and we're going to present you with the proclamation. I got to get you so we're in the camera angles here. Is this one, are we on TV? Okay. We're all set. So we have to take a few pictures here. Somebody else want to quickly join? Thank you. So Bryce, on behalf of the people of Batavia, I'm duly impressed and honored, and we thank you for your inspiration and all the good work you continue to do to make Batavia a great place for all of us to live and work, and we wish you the very best in the days going forward. And I want to thank Alderman Lehman, who was the one that came up with this idea that we do this, because you are a very special person in the life of Batavia and one who truly has set an example and made a difference of what somebody very special should be all about. So I hope you can put this on your wall and show it to your friends and relatives and let everybody know that you had a special day of the year named in your honor by the Batavia City Council.
Thank you so much.
You want to make any comments?
Just want to say, this is pretty loud. It's super honored to be here. And I thank you everyone for having me and my family.
Thank you for all you continue to do and continue to set an example for so many other people in this town. So thank you for being a very special person in the history of the city of Batavia.
No problem.
Okay, moving to item number 9 on their agenda, which is the Batavia Chamber of Commerce. And Margaret Perot, the president and CEO, is here to take it over.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations, Bryce. I've known Bryce since he was elementary school days, and he has always been a ray of sunshine. And Tammy, his mom, too. Wonderful. Take care. I want to start out, Mayor, by saying thank you for hosting Mayor's Breakfast last Thursday. It was wonderful review of the past, the present, and a look forward to the future. Great feedback. Everybody enjoyed it. I think a lot of people learned things, so thank you for your time. I'm going to make this quick because I have an esteemed guest here that's going to show a video in a couple of minutes, so I don't want to take up too much time. I do want to welcome the businesses that joined the Chamber this past month: Liberty Mutual, Matthew Grant, Guardian Radon Mitigation and Construction Services, Slumberland Furniture, Area Code Audio, Two Men in a Truck, DuPage, McHenry, and Kane, Copper Fox, Fox Valley Entrepreneurship Center, RCCG Victory Chapel, European Chef to the Rescue, Asbury Gardens, and Sturdy Shelter Brewing. Check the Chamber's website, bataviachamber.org, to register for our events. 3 I want to mention coming up. On Wednesday, we have our Coffee and Commerce being held at Red Hive Market at 8 a.m. Open networking. Come join us. On Thursday, we have our ribbon cutting ceremony, just a ceremony. I know they're doing a big open house over the weekend, but the ribbon cutting for K. Hollis Jewelers' new location is November 10th at 4:30 p.m. And we have a ribbon cutting at 4 p.m. on Friday, November 11th, for Stronger Therapeutic Counseling. I do want to mention again, I know I mentioned at Mayor's Breakfast, that we are overseeing the production of a new community flag for Batavia. We feel like this is a great time to celebrate what unites us here by having the community come up with an idea of a community flag. And we'll have Flag Source, our local manufacturer, produce that flag for sale in the size of 3x5 and a garden-sized flag by June 14th. You could go to our website for details about that community flag contest. I also want to announce that we are doubling chamber bucks again for the holiday season. We will begin selling holiday bucks on November 14th. So they will be available until we sell up to $5,000. So this is, again, our third year donating money from the chamber budget to inject it into our local economy and help our residences as well. We are, along with Batavia Main Street, we have been marketing the videos produced by Andrew Schoens, both in pictures and subsidized by the city, to promote our small business heading into the holiday season. Hopefully you've seen these videos. We've been releasing them since last week on social media. We already have received great feedback from the videos. Beth Walker spoke to Steve Warrenfeltz from Kiss the Sky today. He posted the video on TikTok and received over 20,000 views and had said that 6 people came in his store just yesterday who had never heard of it. So it's thank you for subsidizing that program. It makes a big difference to our local businesses. Before I introduce my guest, does anybody have any questions for me?
Any questions of Margaret?
Okay, great. I'd like to introduce Paul Trakowski, sorry about that. He's the site manager of Henson Coatings, a leading manufacturer of high-tech paint and powder coating products. You'll be so impressed with what is produced here in Batavia. So come on up, Paul. I know you have a video to show us. Thanks.
Hello, and thank you for having me. My name is Paul Trakowski. I represent Henson Coatings. We are a family-owned business since 1923. And so, yes, next year is our 100th anniversary, so we're very excited about that. We're the largest supplier of coatings to the U.S. Department of Defense. And along with that, many industrial coatings throughout the United States and the world. We have several facilities, corporate, and 2 facilities in Milwaukee. Our fine facility here in Batavia, Illinois. Facility in Greenville, South Carolina. 1 in Clearwater, Florida. Then we have some warehousing in Querétaro, Mexico, Nanjing, China, and Mumbai, India. So I'm not going to talk a lot. We have a video for you that's going to explain the types of products that we make and where our products go. You probably don't know our name, but you've certainly or most likely seen our products. Okay? Deal.
In 1923, brothers Irwin and Herbert Henson teamed up with their father, Albert L. Henson Sr., to form Wisconsin Paint Manufacturing Company. Initial operations were conducted in rental space in a toy factory on North 40th Street, next door to the family home in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. As the company prospered, a new facility was built on Richard Street in Milwaukee. This location featured offices, research and development facilities, and expansive production capabilities. The company marketed products under both the Wisco and Henson brand names. Eventually, Henson became the sole trade name for products sold by Wisconsin Paint Manufacturing Company. During World War II, the United States Army utilized the Henson facilities as a test center for the development of camouflage coatings. The company was presented with the U.S. Army Ordnance Award for outstanding contribution, one of only 2 presented to members of the coating industry after the war. After the war, the company would continue to prosper. During the 1950s, Herbert became sole owner of the company, and his 3 sons, Herbert Jr., William, and Albert, began their careers at the company. By the early 1960s, the company had outgrown the Richard Street facility. A 5-acre lot was purchased on West Mill Road, and a state-of-the-art production plant was constructed at the site. Research and development space and offices were soon added. The site has been expanding ever since. Today, the Mill Road campus sits on 15 acres and has over 240,000 square feet under roof in 3 separate buildings. In 1967, the name of the company was changed to Henson Chemical Coatings to reflect the company's recognition on a national basis. The chemical portion of the name was dropped in 1982. The 1970s brought environmental regulations, and Henson responded with newer, safer, high-performance formulations. During this time, Henson was the first to suggest urethane coatings in the agricultural sector. The results were astounding. A longtime leader in the development of defense coatings, in 1991, Henson received the Outstanding Service Award from the United States Army Materiel Command for service during Operation Desert Storm in the First Gulf War, including, among other things, a coating to help prevent friendly fire incidents, which received some serious press. In 1995, Henson received the Sub-Supplier of the Year Award from the Small Business Administration for Region 7 from among 20,000 applicants. In 2000, Albert's sons, Stephen and Michael, both Marquette lawyers and UW-Madison graduates, joined the company. This started the 4th generation of Henson family members in the company. In 2005, Albert's son Timothy, a graduate of UW-Milwaukee, also joined the company. In 2003, Henson acquired the assets of Adherent Coatings to better position itself in the aerospace coatings marketplace. In late 2004, Henson acquired a former BASF facility in Batavia, Illinois. This provided much-needed additional capacity in the form of 70,000 square feet of research and development, production, and office space. Henson acquired Axon Products, a premier aerospace coatings company in Greenville, South Carolina, to further enhance its position in the aerospace coatings marketplace. To handle increased demand for powder coatings, Henson acquired Crosslink Powder Coatings in Clearwater, Florida in early 2013. Where's the paint? It's everywhere, from bobby pins to B-2 bombers. Henson paints just about everything. Today we celebrate the 90-year history of Henson Coatings. We celebrate outstanding people, loyal suppliers, and customers with samples of products that use our coatings. And we congratulate our family of Henson associates in every department, in every one of our facilities. These are just a few of the people and departments at our Milwaukee site.
Lights go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim against brought me down upon my knees. Oh, I beg and plead, singing, come out of things unsaid. Shoot an apple off my head and a trouble that can't be named. A tiger's waiting to be tamed, singing.
So although that video is nearly 10 years old, our 100th anniversary video is in process right now, so that wasn't quite ready to go, but it does give you a good flavor for all the different types of products that we make. And I'll add that a lot of the coatings that you've seen in this video are made right here in Batavia. So, and we have plans to continue to expand the facility here. So glad to be part of the community.
Well, Batavia is very pleased to have you as part of our community, and we certainly thank you for all the good things you've shown us here tonight, that from helping us defend our country and the military to, support of really good things that are happening across the country. We really are making a very positive impact on the world that we live in, and we're very pleased to have you as one of our citizens.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions?
Can I get some paint from the B-1 bombers?
Yeah, that's a special radar dissipating, so.
It'd help me with the Corvette.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Keep up the great work. Hope you stay in Batavia for another 100 years.
That's our plan.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right, moving then to item 10, which is Resolution 22-108-R, approving a resolution accepting public policy easements at 1459 Lewis Fork Drive. Who's got this one?
I take that, Your Honor.
Alderman Malay.
This one and the next one are pretty straightforward. New construction, building on Louis Bork Drive. As part of the construction, the developer installed new public water main along the north and south sides of the property. This resolution is to approve accepting public utility easements at that 1459 Louis Bork Drive. I move we approve Resolution 22-108-R, accepting public utility easements at 1459 Louis Bork Drive.
Do you have a second to that?
Second.
Motion by Alderman Malay, second by Alderman Sofa for the approval of Resolution 22-108-R. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Malay,
Aye.
Ewer, Saron,
Aye.
Vogelsinger,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Beck,
Aye.
Connolly,
Aye.
Chanzit,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Solfa,
Aye.
Barron,
Aye.
Lehman,
Aye.
Ayazi.
Aye.
12 yes, no, 2 absent.
Motion's approved. Moving then to item 11, which is Resolution 22-109-R, approving a resolution accepting public utility easements at 225 South Harrison Street. Alderman Malay.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This one very similar to the first one, except it's not new construction. It's a current property owner at 225 South Harrison is proposing some changes to the property. It's necessary for the city's utility department to request easement along the property lines to install utilities such as water, sanitary, and electrical facilities. I move we approve Resolution 22-109-R, approving a resolution accepting public utilities easements at 225 South Harrison.
Moved by Alderman Malay, second by Alderman Solfa, was it? For the approval of Resolution 22-109-R for the public utility easements at 225 South Harrison Street. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Malay,
Aye.
Saron,
Aye.
Vogelsinger,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Beck,
Aye.
Connolly,
Aye.
Chanzit,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Solfa,
Aye.
Barron,
Aye.
Lehman, Ayazi.
Aye.
12 yes, no, no, 2 absent.
Motion's approved. Okay, moving to item number 12, which is ordinance 22-51, 2023 wage and salaries for non-collectively bargained employees. Who's got this one?
Your Honor, I have it.
Alderman Chanzy?
I was going to say, if we can take the next three together, this is our annual review of wage and salary. We do need to approve these ordinance. It takes into consideration a very unusual year for cost of living. As we discussed in committee, 4% is the number that we're looking at. We know that Social Security is reviewing numbers. We know that CPI is well into the eighths. As we discussed in committee, these are very fair raises, and also in these ordinances, there are some reclassifications of some positions. If Wendy is available, is there anything that I left out that you wanted to make sure we touched on?
No, I think exactly like you had mentioned. The one thing I'll say is the change from last week is I did, as requested, added the cost. You'll see in the memorandum for the changes of the positions. So
I did see that. Thank you for adding that. Appreciate that. If there are no other questions, I would move that we take the first one, approving ordinance 22-52, establishing the 2023 wage and salary ordinance for our non-collective bargain employees.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman Wolf, for the approval of ordinance 22-51 for non-collectively bargained employees. Do we have any conversation or questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Chanzit,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Solfa,
Aye.
Barron,
Aye.
Lehman, Ayazi,
Aye.
Malay,
Aye.
Saron,
Aye.
Vogelsinger,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Beck,
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
12 yes, no, no, 2 absent.
Motion's approved. Moving to item 13, which is ordinance 22-52, 2023 wages and salaries for paid on-call members of the fire department.
I
Alderman
would move that we
Chanzit, do you have
approve the
this?
ordinance.
I'm sorry, I may overrode you, Alderman Chanzit. Did you say something?
Yeah, as I said, I move for approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman Malay for the approval of ordinance 2251, wage and salaries for the members of the paid on-call fire department, or excuse me, ordinance 2252, members of the paid on-call fire department. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Chanzit,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Solfa,
Aye.
Barron,
Aye.
Lehman, Ayazi,
Aye.
Malay,
Aye.
Saron,
Aye.
Vogelsinger,
Aye.
Miller, Beck,
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
12 yes, no, no, 2 absent.
Motion's approved. Finally, 14, which is ordinance 2253, 2023 payments for emergency services and disaster agency volunteer members. Alderman
Your
Chanzit?
Honor. Yeah, Your Honor, I move that we approve.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman Malay for the approval of the ordinance 2253 for the payment of non-emergency services and disaster agency volunteers. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Chanzit,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Solfa,
Aye.
Barron,
Aye.
Lehman, Ayazi,
Aye.
Malay,
Aye.
Saron,
Aye.
Vogelsinger,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Beck,
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
12 yes, no, no, 2 absent.
Motion's approved. Okay, moving then to 15, which is the administrator's report. Or?
Good evening. I sent out a message earlier today. There was a conflict with the scheduling of this room, and so instead of having our first budget meeting this Thursday, we're going to have our first budget meeting next Monday evening at 7:00 p.m. And so we posted a new notice of that meeting, and then the following day is the committee of the whole meeting, and that will be the public hearing on our budget. As you review the budget, if you have questions, feel free to forward them to Peggy and or myself, and we compile all the questions that we receive and put those back to you so that everybody can see the answers to those questions as you consider the 2023 budget. I do want to recognize Anthony Isom this evening. Anthony, for the last 5 years, has served as assistant to the city administrator. And with the vacancy that existed in the economic development manager position, Anthony was ready to take on that role. Many things that he has done over the course of these past 5 years have made him the perfect candidate for this. 2 years ago, he attended the International Economic Development Council's certification program and earned his certificate of economic development. In addition to that, Anthony has been a critical person on our staff to assist with members of our business community with accessing our grant programs, whether they be the TIF grants or our Gateway grant programs. Since he started with the city, one of, I think, Anthony's special talents is building relationships, both within and also outside this organization. And so he is coming into the position with very strong relationships with Main Street and with the Chamber of Commerce, as well as dozens and dozens of members of our business community. Oftentimes, Anthony is the first person that people who have brought their new business here to the city of Batavia, he was their very first contact. So I'm sure that you're going to do exceptionally well in the position, Anthony. Congratulations. Alderman Vogelsinger a couple of weeks ago requested the number of permits that we have provided for solar and EV chargers. We looked at the past 3 years of statistics for solar. In 2020, we did 17 permits. In 2021, we did 7 permits. Year to date in 2022, we've issued 3, and we have 5 others that are being processed right now. For EV chargers, in 2020, we had 6. In 2021, we had 16. And thus far, year to date in 2022, we've provided 9 permits. There aren't any others that are in process at this time. Our annual street program is finishing up this week, and I think that we had previously let you know that there was a little bit of a timing issue. The city had received a grant through the Community Development Block Grant Program through Kane County. We received $35,240 for replacing the road on Spring Street, but we knew we also had lead service lines that needed to be replaced there, and we are happy to report that the water department was able to complete the lead service line replacement work that allowed us to avail ourselves of using that community development block grant funding. Also wanted to, and I think that Margaret mentioned it too, head over to our Facebook page and check out these videos that have been produced by both And Productions for our small businesses. They're really turned out great, and they're a lot of fun to watch and ways to learn about businesses in our community that you might not otherwise be familiar with. And that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Anybody have any questions of Laura tonight? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 16, do we have other business from the city council?
I just have a quick point of recognition. October 28th was National First Responders Day. Since it's our first full city council meeting since then, I think it's just appropriate to take some time to show the men and women of our fire and police departments some public support for their job well done.
You and I have talked about this, and I think maybe at the next meeting we'll have a proclamation that we will pass on, or that date in those 2 departments, because I will tell you, as one who gets to kind of review what's happening there on a regular basis, both of them have had very trying years. I mean, they've responded to it all and handled it all very well, but the volumes are up, and as an example, the amount of mental illness calls that they are now being called to, and it generally starts with the police, and very quickly thereafter, the fire is invited to get involved with it. So we've got, some kind of new things that are kind of popping up at us. They're not new, but the volumes of them are just overwhelming as far as the amount of activity that they are being asked to deal with. And I had the opportunity to recently meet with the president of Mercy Center Hospital in Aurora, and he was giving me the lowdown about Mercy Centers in the process of changing a couple of their buildings around, specifically to deal with the volume that's being brought to their door by all the police and fire departments that surround Aurora, including Batavia, and that it's a wide variety of facilities they have to put in, including some that have some kind of locking down facility and everything else that they're getting themselves into here. And so I don't know where all that's going, but it's not a real positive trend, and it's not unique to us. I mean, you go out and talk to mayors anyplace else, and everybody's got this same thing going on. So this is a very challenging time, and the amount of ambulance rescue squad, police interventions that are having to be brought to fruition is very significant. So it's something that we as a city council need to keep our eyes on. You're jumping up to say.
Speaking of which, I had one more thing, so I will cover it under other, and that is the filling of our 2 deputy chief positions. I'm very happy to say that after a long, lengthy process that we have selected 2 candidates, and they've accepted the position. And one of those is John Kessler. He is our fire marshal right now, and John has decades of experience in fire service. Prior to coming to us as fire marshal, he was a battalion chief with the St. Charles Fire Department. And also the second candidate is John Lucas, who accepted the position. John has been with our department for many, many years and currently serves as a battalion chief with the department. And so we're really looking forward to those individuals joining the command staff of the Batavia Fire Department, and we will have official swearings in at our next city council meeting.
Okay. Thank you for that. Anybody else have anything else they wanted to bring up? Alderman Warner?
Just a quick update on the football team did win in a wild, windy, crazy day on Saturday. So their next foe is the Yorkville Foxes. For all of us longtime Batavians, we're going back to the Little Seven to get through the next round. So that'll be 1 p.m. Saturday out at Bulldog Stadium again. There'll be another home game. So hopefully the weather, even though it'll be a lot colder, will be a little bit better.
Well, as I told Alderman Wolf before the meeting, he's part of the broadcast team that really has professionalized broadcasting in Batavia and has really gotten quite a fan club behind it. And needless to say, the mayor can't go any place if there's been a day when the game was supposed to come on and there was some mechanical issue or something and it didn't get on. And specifically, the senior citizen world out here is really a big fans of the Batavia sports teams. Going in, obviously starting with football, but I think there's a lot of them waiting for the basketball season.
Yeah. We will be doing some basketball games this year.
So anyway, I'm just sharing that, encouraging our friends at the school board to continue to watch that and keep those games coming because they've got a constituency they need to keep happy, and this is one way they do it because there's a lot of those folks that Friday night, Saturdays, they're getting their cup of coffee and going downstairs to the rec room in the senior citizen facilities and watching those games together. So it's
we had quite the game on Saturday night. At one point, we were roughly between 2,800 and 3,000 viewers on YouTube alone. That doesn't count the video or the cable channel on 17, or the fact that weekend, last weekend, and this weekend we'll be partnering with NFHS and providing them our feed for their service that they provide. So, Yorkville's not that far away. I'm sure they'll have a good crowd. We had an exceptionally good crowd out there for what I'll say was a not nice weather day. And, it's really satisfying to see after all the years of hard work that we put in, and the crew that we have that's out there every, couple hours before every game, putting everything together. They do a lot of work, and Dave and I just sit there and talk. So it's a good thing. And it's great to keep everybody connected to the team.
You and Dan really are doing a phenomenal job. I mean, it's totally sounding professional, in my opinion, as to how you
We've had a lot of practice.
And, the nice part about it is you incite the listener into this player and where they've been and how many touchdowns they've made and what they did last year. And I know the guys up at the senior living communities really like that. They get to become fans of individual
We're
players.
talking about next year doing an in the booth shot, because I think everybody in the world needs to see what Dave actually does. He's probably got 4 or 5 different clipboards, and he will take stats during the game, and after the game's over, he might be a yard off on the totals. I mean, he's just that good at what he does, and the way he has it laid out and the way he manages it is just amazing to me. So that's a great thing. The other thing I did want to mention, too, is we've had a lot of other success at the high school level. The swim team is sending several five people, and several of the teams that are going down there from the co-op swim team that they have with West Chicago.
Yeah, we have 5 swimmers that are going to be representing Batavia High School, and they're going to be on all 3 relays. One of the relays is made up of all Batavia students, which is a medley relay, and then we have a backstroker and a 500 free swimmer also be swimming, along with 2 gals from Geneva that will be swimming. That's the largest that has gone to represent West Chicago since, I think Nick said, 2017. They got 5 school records last week. So very successful. Very looking forward to going to Westmont on Friday. We're leaving on.
So I'm very impressed with your knowledge of the swim program at Batavia High School. You have somebody in the program?
I do.
She
I do have a swimmer.
You used to be in the program yourself, weren't you?
No,
I thought when you were in high school you were a swimmer.
no, I was a runner.
Okay.
I was a cross country runner.
Speaking of
So,
runners, I was
speaking
going
of
to say,
cross-country.
the next thing we have to go right back into that is because cross country is also sending people downstate.
Oh.
So,
We're going to have this a special section of the city council.
yeah, we
Works on-
will. We're going to have to start
I
following
mean, I don't
that.
see anything wrong with it because
No.
it's good stuff. I
No,
mean,
yeah, there's a lot of good things happening out there. They had
a lot of other things we could be talking about
an
out there
excellent
that are not
produ-
happening.
production of 42nd Street this weekend.
Fantastic.
Everybody that I've talked to said it was absolutely awesome, and I don't think I could have made it through that production. I would have been asleep about 10 minutes after it happened because I went home after the game and took a nap.
Well, going to the mayor's report, Lori Botterman, I inadvertently left my calendar on my desk upstairs. Do you know off the top of your head the date of the Greenway dedication on South River Street? Is it 10th?
It is actually next Saturday, Saturday the 12th.
The 12th, the 12th. All right, I just want everybody to know that the Batavia Park District has now acquired most of the land on South River Street on the west side of the street that borders the river from Webster Street almost down to the Little League Park. And I think there may be 2 or 3 properties that are left. One of them, it's the biggest house down there they've just acquired, and they tell me that'll be coming down in the very, very near future. And so that's going to open up. And where this all comes from, Mr. Philip B. Elstrom, who many of you may remember, owned the area where the pizza restaurant and Cal Joey's and everything is on North River Street. When he passed away, he left a very generous gift to the Batavia Park District with the explicit instructions that the money be used to acquire the property on South River Street next to the river and to make that into a park for future Batavians to enjoy. And the Park District is followed up on that, and I don't know the exact number, but I believe they've acquired now 4 or 5 or 6 properties down there, so they've got most of it put together. So on the 12th at 10 a.m., they're going to have a dedication down there, and they're going to rename the area. I guess we're putting up a couple signs. It's going to be called the Philip B. Elstrom Greenway. and it'll go basically from Webster Street down there to near where the Little League Park is. And they're going to encourage bike riding and running and walking and whatever. But if you go down there and just walk it, Batavia should pat itself on the back because of all the stretches of the Fox River. That is really one of the prettiest ones and has a lot of nice things along it. I've been leaning on our Public Works folks to get a couple things cleaned up there so that it even looks nicer than it is, but they've already done a wondrous job of getting that whole area put together. So, many years ago, we came up with this idea, kind of what we had seen in Naperville, building a river walk along downtown Batavia. And we largely got that pretty well done. I mean, most of it's accessible to the river on both the east and west sides of the river. And now we're kind of extending it out of town a little bit. And we've already got the southwest side, already got the bike trail on it, as does the northwest side. And they all basically have it, but this one is going to dance up in appearance, I think, significantly the southeast side. And that's going to be a very interesting place to have some nice recreational stuff happening down there. So I think, again, this is going to be an attribute that will be a very strong strength of Batavia in the days ahead, and something that I think we're all going to be very proud of, that it was done with the cooperation of the Park District, the Kane County Forest Reserve, and the City of Batavia. Those were the real three main players in it that really put something together that got this thing kind of rolling. And then, of course, with Mr. Elstrom's very generous donation in his will, the money was put into place to acquire the privately owned section. So everything's come together, and I can remember as a young newspaper reporter, not in this building, but back in the old City Hall in the early 1970s, sitting there covering meetings, and there was horrendous fights between the audience and the then 10 members on the city council about what in goodness names are you doing buying all this land down here by the river? It's nothing but a dump down there. It looks terrible. And the biggest fight of all was in this building that we're sitting in right now and the property around it. And that was, we got the pictures on the wall over here of Mayor Brown and Mayor Swanson. And those were the two mayors in the 1960s and early 1970s that negotiated the purchase of all this property down here. And at the end of the day, it was over 15 acres and included the depot pond where the water is, because that was had been privately built and was privately owned. And oh my goodness gracious, there was hellfire and damnation, and this